All right, Fuzz the Pie Guy here. We're going to make a hard drive sander. I'm sure you've seen these online, but I'm going to do a step-by-step here. So I have a old Western Digital hard drive here from back in the day. So we're going to use this. Now this is a 4-pin. Some of them's 3-pin, like this guy here is a 3-pin. So we're going to use the 4-pin here. And I got some wires here so we can solder on to come off of that. Got some terminals here that we're going to need. And a ESC, electronic speed control, for like RC cars. We have one of these guys. And I went ahead and cut the terminals off because they wouldn't work with my other terminals, so I'm just going to solder on some terminals there. Then we have a little servo controller here, so we can change the RPM of it. So we're not going to need the first solder joint. We're going to want the second, third, and the fourth. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and solder these guys on and solder my connections on here. And we'll do the same with this guy here. And we'll power this. This electronic speed control is good for 6.4 to 16.8 volts. For the battery input, which we're not going to use a battery, I'm just going to use a power supply, 12 volt power supply. Then this guy here goes to the servo control. And as you can see, we have manual, neutral, auto. So we're not going to be using this guy, we're just going to be using this guy right here. And that will plug into him. And obviously power in, and this will go to the hard drive. So I'll be back. Alright, so now we're back. I went ahead and soldered them on. And went ahead and soldered them terminals on. So now we're going to go ahead and solder this guy. And wire this thing up. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I just went ahead and mounted this, soldered this up. Really got to be careful there because you can break them off pretty easy. But so I just used this little wire clamp here and one of the hard drive screws to help hold this in place. So as you can see, we have it wired up here, and I'll throw a wiring diagram on my website. I went ahead and cut that other connector off and just use one of my barrel connectors here to make it a little easier to plug in and out. Then I just have an old 12 volt 1 amp power supply laying around, so that'll be perfect. And I have this plugged in on the bottom row of the pins here. Because if you look here, you got manual, neutral, and auto. So let's try that. Alright, we got everything plugged in, powered on. Got my barrel connector here hooked up. So we have 12 volts coming in. We're hooked into the bottom of this servo tester. Now, I tried the middle, it didn't make no difference, but I never used any of these before. But anyway, we have that like that. Got my power going in, so I have the, I'll throw a diagram on my website for this, but the ground, the hot, and the common, I guess we could say. So let's see. And this thing spins, I can tell you that. And I just turned it down the whole way. And it takes a while for it to stop, unless you use your finger or whatnot. Now, if you unplug it, it really shuts down. I guess it takes a while for the voltage to drop, with the power still being plugged in, but it will stop. As you can see there, it's slowing down. So now what we're going to do is unhook this, and I'm going to take this top part off, and I got some 5-inch disc for my sander. I might try that unless I have some other sandpaper around, but other than that, we'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and took the disc and hot glued some Velcro on, because I have these laying around for my 5-inch sander. Now obviously these have holes in for the sander, but if I could find some of these that have the Velcro on with no holes, that would be great. But I'm just going to do it for now for this video. So we'll just stick that on there, because now it's Velcroed. Now, I don't know how good it'll stay that way. Might have to end up using double-sided tape or whatnot. So, might have to trim this up a little. Alright, so we have it screwed back on. We got it powered up. So, let's see. Might have to give it a little bit of a go. Then we can take something here. Let's see how good the lights work here. We can turn it up a little bit. I'm just using the hard drive cover here. I mean, it's not going to be a high-class sander, but it will get the job done. So hopefully that kind of helps out. I'll throw a link in the description to my website for part list for the servo thing, the electronic speed control, and just use a generic power supply. But hopefully that kind of helps out. Cool little project. Maybe do a permanent mount, more of a permanent mount type thing for this. And get some different sandpaper, and I think I'll be good to go. So, alright, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another one. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe, and have fun.